Good morning from Los Angeles, everyone. I just woke up. I'm in my PJs, which is very much in line with what I want to talk to you guys about today. This is all about my current morning flow routine. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, my name is Jamie. I'm a shapeshifter of reality and a badass energy bitch. That's my way of saying that I'm an empath, because I'm all about blowing shit up around the stigma and the very, very false mislabel that being an empath is somehow disempowering, a disadvantage. And as a nonconformist, this is something that I'm really compassionate about. And I'm all about really designing solutions and coming up with things that really work for you. And this is why I really want to share with you guys my morning flow, which is, yes, a routine, but I also really want to acknowledge that it's very flowy and fluid, because I think it's so important for us to remember that we're organic creatures. In the world that we live in, I feel like we really prioritize being scheduled and precise, and as beneficial as that can be, I feel like when we start creating this idea that, this is what we have to do every day, every morning, we have to wake up at this time, we have to do it in this way, in this order, the very tool that we are using to support us can also potentially inadvertently become a prison world for us. And I'm not about that. But of course, I can also recognize the value and benefit in soulfully consistent habits that help us to facilitate and accelerate and sustain our success and live the life that we truly, truly desire. And this is where I have found this balance of morning flow. For those of you guys who have watched my other channels, you know that I have a playlist specifically for goal setting, where I'm going to go ahead and add more to it. You'll hear me talk about the different types of goal setting systems that I follow, because I personally, as I evolve, as my schedule and my seasons and my habits and desires fluctuate, I change the way that I do things as well. And I've let go of the notion that it's flaky. It's actually just me honoring the changes that take place. And because I am always learning, I'm always growing, I think it's so important for me to evolve my habits along with it. So right now, the current flow that I'm following for my morning flow routine is very fluid, and it really allows me first thing in the morning to check in with what I feel most aligned to do. And I'm very much about working with yourself rather than against yourself. It's very minimum effort, maximum results. So I'm not going to challenge you to do something that could really tempt you to deviate and revert back into old habits, like, don't use your phone, keep it on the other side of the room, stuff like that. It's like, these are some great ideas and practices, and I absolutely recognize that there are benefits that you can get out of it. But if it doesn't work for you, I think it's so much better to just re-examine the way you look at yourself and just trust that, your habits and your desires exist for a reason, because they're meant to serve you. And that also tremendously eliminates your need for censorship and trying to change who you are, and instead just celebrating who you are. And I really love that. And so for me, I've stopped trying to not look at my phone first thing in the morning, because that's what I gravitate towards. And I feel like when I try to take something away from myself and not do that, I sort of get this anxiety. The very thing that's supposed to actually relax me is the very thing that's actually perpetuating it. So instead, I've decided, what can I do to make using my phone actually supportive? And so now what I do is I do set my phone on airplane mode at night sometimes, but I don't necessarily always do that. And now what I do is I go on YouTube and I put on Marconi Union Waitlist, which is what's playing in the background right now. It's a really tranquil type of music that has been created specifically to reduce the cortisol in our body, which is a stress hormone. It's a 30-minute video that I listen to. They do have a longer one as well, the extended version, but I just start off with 30 minutes and I'll set my alarm in 10-minute intervals. And so what I do is in the first 10 minutes, I focus on the things that I'm grateful for. And I do this when I'm still in bed. I'm a little bit sleepy, so I'm not really talking out loud and saying a lot of words, because I feel like I'm still kind of waking up. So it's very visual, very soft, and it's just more about being in my feelings rather than in my mind. So for me, I'm a visual person, so I see the things that make me grateful. I look around and I'm like, oh, I love this space. I love the natural light. I love how comfortable my bed is. These are just sort of the things I just let my gratitude wash over me. And then as a way to balance it out, really focusing on the things that I'm grateful for and feeling like the universe is supporting me, I also express the things that I desire in my mind, or in my heart and my soul more specifically. And so I really start thinking about the things that I want. It's sort of, I refer to it as a receiving list rather than a wish list. And that way I feel like the universe is actively conspiring to orchestrate everything that needs to happen in order for me to receive the things that I truly desire and want, that I know that I'm meant to get. It sort of shifts me out of like this, like a dreamland, into like just really integrating it into this physical experience. And then I take the time to really visualize it. Now, I do have to say, over time, a lot of these things have sort of like bled together. But in the beginning, it's just like when I think about things that I want, it's just like just quick, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. I just see images. And then after that, I may start visualizing actual scenarios, hanging out with my friends, spending time with my neighbors, and, like fun conversations, like going to get something to eat. Like these are a more elaborate, detailed visions that I have. And I really love this because when we are sleeping, we're still very much in our sleep state, and we are able to lucid dream if this is something that you do. It's a way to accelerate your manifestations, and you're connected with your soul. Your mental faculties start to shut down. And so it's just a really great way to sink into your heart, sink into your body, sink into your feelings. And these are really important elements in order to really manifest the things that you desire. And so for me, I really just love taking advantage of that and really priming my day with reducing the cortisol in my body, which is just a beautiful way to be in a really healthy Zen state. And it's something that's super easy to do first thing in the morning. I am really blessed as an entrepreneur. I get to pick my schedule. I don't start my day, like really start my day with client calls, things like that, until 11 a.m. So I do have an opportunity to wake up whenever I want, which ranges anywhere from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. And so I just really like being able to listen to my body and checking in and saying, you know what, like right now, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I desire. Sometimes, when I think about what I want, it's I want to take a day off, or I want to just dish out a bunch, and I just want to have a bunch of like 10 YouTube videos on standby. I really want to create content. I really want to write articles, whatever the situation is. And I get to check in with myself. And then I do have a more elaborate system, which will be another video, where I have a binder. I'm very old school. I'm very much with the tactile, visual, kinesthetic experience. And I have specific things that I make sure that I address each day. And I have a little note on my wall that says, what can I do to set my soul on fire today? And so it's just like a really beautiful balance of, I don't let not having a precise schedule of like at 7 a.m. I do this, at 7:30 I do this, at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m. I don't set my life in that way, but that doesn't mean that I can't get the benefits of having empowering habits. So if you're someone that is playing with having soulfully strategic, consistent habits and scheduling systems put into place, but you don't really resonate with a lot of the traditional organized linear system, and you want to have more of a co-creative experience, I invite you into playing with this. You can also do other things. Frequencies are great. I'm a huge fan of solfeggio frequencies. There's a lot of amazing ones on YouTube. If you'd like some suggestions, go ahead and comment below, and I'll be happy to share with you some of my favorites. The reason why I stopped doing that is that I felt like each day I'd be like, oh, should I listen to this? Should I listen to that? And then I found myself in my head and I started getting distracted. So now just having this automated experience of listen to Marconi Union waitlist first thing in the morning, it just really puts me in that flow. And even if you're someone who isn't a fan of consistent schedules and habits and stuff, which is how I am the majority of the time, we're still biologically and physiologically creatures of habits. So, really cueing yourself, really priming yourself with these specific hacks is a really good way, because now when I listen to this, I know, like, I am checking with myself. I'm going to be in a healthy vibe. I'm going to produce amazing, balanced chemicals. This is my time to really focus in on what it is that I desire before the world starts to distract me. And when I do that first thing in the morning, I maintain that energetic standard. I'm anchored into that state. So even when the world does attempt to distract me, and it certainly does, I'm able to recenter myself and bring myself back to what it is that I desire. And I feel like when each of us are able to go back into that place, we are so much healthier for ourselves and for others. This is so, so, so absolutely important. I hope that this video has given you some insights. Please comment below and share with me what your thoughts are, what your morning flow or routine is, how you feel about scheduling, your habits. If you have a system that works for you, please comment below. And if you haven't already, if this video resonates with you, please check out some of my other videos and subscribe so that you'll know when I post things. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Bye.